Hello everyone, I'm Khwaja Rizwan, Miro enthusiast. I'm again presenting to you another Miro template, and this one belongs to deployment plan. So let me just walk you through quickly. For this deployment plan, I'll be walking you through uh, the deployment plan template, its various sections, and altogether there are 6 sections for this deployment template. It starts from the general information, then the pre-deployment checklist, then deployment steps, the runbook, then rollback plan, a communication plan, and lastly post-deployment verification. So after this template, I have also used an example. I'll be taking you all the way from defining the general information all the way to post verification, deployment verification. So let me just go through each section of the template and the welcoming frame it relates to the name of the deployment plan, then the general information, a brief paragraph where you can define something about it's going to be a high level overview of the deployment plan, and it should be very crisp and to the point. So under this general information, you can see there is a table, and the columns or tables, the first information that you'll be entering is the name of the project, the version you are deploying, the name of the deployment lead, then the schedule window, the start time, end time, along with the time zone, and the environment that you are basically deploying. And it could be production, it could be testing, it could be staging, and you can add more in this list. Then objective of this deployment plan. Then the next section belongs to the pre-deployment checklist. And this section ensures that all necessary preparations are completed before the actual deployment begins. And it has 3 sections. And the first one belongs to code and build readiness. The second one is environment and configuration readiness. And the third one is approvals and logistics. The second column is the readiness checklist. Under code and build readiness, you can define all these steps here. And similarly for environment and configuration and approvals and logistics. The third column belongs to responsible roles. And this is there is again a list I have given here, and you can select from each of these roles for which they are responsible. Then status, and among the status you can select from completed, in progress, and blocked, and you can add additional notes over here. Then comes the deployment steps. So the deployment steps, which is in fact is a run book of your deployments. So it starts with the unique identifier by defining the steps. As you can see here, there are altogether 10 steps that are defined here for the understanding of this deployment plan under deployment steps, then the actions and descriptions, then the copy of the commands and detailed instructions required to execute this particular action, then the responsible person for this action, and verification of success. Then comes the rollback plan. And under the rollback plan, you can define the trigger conditions, the rollback action, the command required to initiate that trigger, and the responsible person, and the status. And over here in the responsible roles, you can select from the multiple roles. And status could be ready, in progress, and blocked. Then comes the communication plan. And in the communication plan, the first column relates to the audience which are being addressed here. Then the channel used to communicate with this audience. And for this, I have used 3 channels at the moment: email, Slack, push notifications. And you can add as many channels as per the your organization need. Then the timing of this communication. the person responsible for this communication, and the status, whether this action has been completed or not, whether it's in progress or it is blocked. You can change the statuses as per the needs of your project or the organizational needs. Then comes the post deployment verification. This is the last section, and in this section, you'll be basically any deployment cannot be completed until and unless it is verified. And for this verification, post deployment verification, you'll be defining check category, what is being checked, then the specific verification actions being taken, then the responsible person from your team for this particular action, then the tool used for the verification. For example, I have used some known tools and methods used for the post deployment verification. It could be Jenkins, Grafana, Kibana query, SQL command, so on and so forth. And thus, in the statuses, you can see that there are multiple statuses defined, whether it's this verification is passed, confirmed, whether it's alert, clean, accurate, in progress, or not required. So let's now come to the example. For this deployment plan, I have taken an example of a Dataplex engine upgrade from version 3.1 to 3.2. So I have defined a small information about this deployment plan. Deploy new processing engine with MIM allocation for 20% performance gain. Zero downtime deployment using a blue-green strategy. So in the table, I'll be defining the name of the project, the version being deployed, since it is from version 3.1 to 3.2 upgrade, and the name of the lead, then the deployment window, and the start and the end time, along with the time zone. Then the environment which is being tested here. For example, it could be production, testing, staging, then the objective of the deployment. Then comes the second section relates to the pre-deployment checklist. As in the template above, you have seen that there were three subsections: code and build readiness, environment and configuration, and approval and logistics. And these are almost similar, which were defined in the template above. Then you can define the roles and the names and the roles of the person responsible for this deployment. And then the status of this deployment, you can select from the completed, in progress, blocked, and not applicable, and any additional notes for this particular deployment. And then you can fill all these deployment actions over here. The next section belongs to the deployment steps, the runbook. So in this deployment steps, the first column relates to the unique identifier or the deployment steps. For this example, I have taken altogether 10 steps, deployment steps, and these are the rollback actions. And these rollback actions, if you just click over here, you see that there are multiple rollback actions defined. It could be prep, DB, verify, deploy, finalize, could be communication, and rollback. Then the action descriptions. You can define action for this rollback. Then the command used for this particular action. Then the person responsible for this action, and the verification of success. The next section belongs to the rollback plan. And for this example, I have taken altogether 4 triggers, and you can see here that the first column belongs to the trigger condition, then the rollback action taken, then the command used for checking this trigger, and then a responsible person and verification of the rollback. And then the communication plan. The first column belongs to the audience and the channel used for this communication, the timing of this trigger, this communication trigger, then the person responsible for carrying out this communication trigger, then the message sent through this trigger, and whether this action has been completed, or what is the status of this action. You can check from here. Then the last section relates to the post-deployment verification, and the first column is a check category, then the specific verification action taken, who is responsible for this action, and what tool and method has been used for this specific post-deployment verification, and whether this verification is passed, or what is the status of this particular post verification action. So you can select from multiple options given here, and you can add more in this, or you can delete from this list by going to the header. Click on this header status and then edit field, and you can add or delete any of the options from here. So I hope you will like this template, the deployment plan template, and you can use it for your own project by simply copying it by selecting all these frames and right click it and duplicate it and use it for your own project. Uh, Kindly do subscribe, like, and share my channel, and come back to my channel and keep visiting my channel for more informative videos like these. Thank you very much.